Hello and welcome to White Hare Investigations. I'm your host, Anna Rucco. The abandoned mail cart letters and what they may mean. Letter to the St. Denis Times-Tribune. Letter to the St. Denis Times-Tribune. To the editor, St. Denis Times-Tribune, St. Denis, Lemoyne. Dear Sir, it has come to my attention that the habit of writing letters to newspapers has completely consumed my life. All I do all day is think about what I'm going to say that is witty, pithy, and will impress people I do not know. I never used to care about being pithy. Now it is consuming my life. My once successful career as a fertilizer salesman is now but a distant memory. My life is now dominated by what others think of me. My vanity, pride, and self-absorption have become everything to me. Yet I never used to be this way. On the eve of a new century, I pray that mankind will emerge fresh into a better world, one less consumed by the possesses, pretensions, and images that have obsessed him in the 19th century. I have many hopes for our species, but few for myself. Please assure you in future letters I send you without opening them. I am turning over a new leaf. Life as a seller of chemical fertilizer is far more fulfilling than the shadow life as a man who exists merely through the eyes of others. Yours faithfully, Dorian Weatherby, Esquire. P.S. I note that in your last issue you misspelt my name. Points of interest. Dorian Weatherby, St. Denis Times-Tribune, St. Denis. Dorian Weatherby. The only Weatherby in the RDR series is Earl Doc Weatherby in Red Dead Revolver, which is set in 1880s. Originally from Atlantic City, Doc headed west to Brimstone after being rejected by a woman whom both he and Ralph Clover were courting. Ralph came after Doc to seek vengeance, but did not follow through on his aim. This is before RDR2, which is 1899. Could Earl be related to Dorian? His father, maybe? I couldn't find any other info on this name. However, from the letter, we can tell that Dorian is a type of columnist. A columnist is a person who writes for publications in a series creating an article that usually offers commentary and opinions. He states that he wants to go back to sell fertilizer. In 1899, chemical fertilizers were still the experimental process. St. Denis Times-Tribune. Now this newspaper is available in-game, in story mode for the player to buy different issues of. Now what I think they did is, I think Rockstar took all the available newspapers from New Orleans that have been available over the times, combined them together to come up with the St. Denis Times-Tribune as a tribute to all the different newspapers. St. Denis and Lemoyne. This has been discussed earlier in this episode. Dorian Weatherby is possibly the son or relative of Earl Doc Weatherby, who was once a fertilizer salesman, and may have wanted more fame and so started writing columns for the St. Denis Times-Tribune, which is like a blog of sorts today. His column was not widely popular or didn't receive the fame he thought he should. I think the threat to going back to sell fertilizer was that, just a threat. The fact that he mentions to not open the letters he was going to send in the future backs that up. Why keep writing letters unless you're still seeking some form of attention? The name of the newspaper appears to be a combination of several papers' names put together. St. Denis, New Orleans, Times from one newspaper, and Tribune from another. The letter timeframes. Letter to Henrietta Douglas references events in 1899. Letter to Judge Finley is plausible for 1899. Letter to Miriam Wagner is specific to game events in 1899. Letter to William Arrington is plausible for 1899. And the letter to the St. Denis Times-Tribune is kind of specific to 1899. So all 5 letters fit the 1899 storyline time frame. It also explains why you can't find them in the 1898 online mode. They haven't been written yet. They also fit the pre-April time frame, which theoretically means that it fits my theory about Jimmy Brooks being the driver of the